the more common question our consultants get is, if I shield my bedroom, and of course it shields things away from me, what about my neighbor that lives next door to me? Am I giving them more exposure because I shielded my bedroom? That's a common question people ask. Welcome to the GEOVITAL Academy. I'm excited that you're here. Okay, here we are at the building site here in Thailand. So we're going to take some measurements. Hold on to the wire. Yep. There's this concept of electronic pollution. I mean, we've been doing this for 35 years, but we're getting more and more involved in the shielding of entire homes. All right, so this is our little demonstration room. What an opportunity to do a little bit of an interview with you, so people get to know you. Okay, great. Thank you for coming to EMFQ&A, where we give you an opportunity to sort of connect with us and ask any a lot of questions in relation to existing homes. This is Patrick Vandenberg, your global radiation specialist. Good question. Start over. So if your neighbor sits underneath you, right, you're on top, and they say, okay, well, I could shield my ceiling, so my router doesn't affect me. Or maybe the scenario is a little different. Come on. Maybe you're here, you got a neighbor here with a Wi-Fi router, you got another neighbor here. Hang on. Well, you might have a neighbor here with a Wi-Fi router, and they don't care. You got a nice neighbor here, and they say, oh, I could put some shielding here that might help you, right? Something like that. Well, the effectiveness is sort of the same as before. It sort of fits the sort of same scenario. If I put a barrier in place, I'm likely to get a reduction from something that used to travel to me in that direction. Now I put a barrier in its place. But for the same, I mean, you don't know until you put it up, right? You could have a cell phone tower 3 miles away that's also getting into the surface, and that's reflecting up. So you don't know till you get there. In terms of, is it bad for potentially bad for somebody to do that? And in your scenario, it's two people working together. The more common question our consultants get is, if I shield my bedroom, and of course it shields things away from me, what about my neighbor that lives next door to me? Am I giving them more exposure because I shielded my bedroom? That's a common question people ask. All right, so short answer is, well, it sort of depends. If you have, all right, let's say you're in an apartment or something, that's your neighbor, that's you, other neighbor, right? And here's your bedroom, and you put shielding in there. Right, let's say you shielded your bedroom there. Now you've put up a barrier. So in theory, if we had radio frequency radiation coming in from this angle, that's now going to be reflected to that neighbor. So you're increasing their exposure. On the other hand, if there's a cell phone tower over here, you're actually reducing their radiation exposure, right? Because it all depends on where the sources of radio frequency radiation are, right? You might be increasing some that are on their side, but you might be decreasing some from things that are on the other side. So I think it's a sort of a non-issue. If you have an issue with this, as in like, not quite sure, maybe I'm doing something bad to my neighbors, how about you try and educate them about EMF radiation and health effects, right? Lead the horse to water, right? If they go, wow, this makes a lot of sense, no wonder you shield your bedroom, we're going to do the same, right? Well, fantastic, you did them a great favor by educating them. Chances are, though, is like 95% of people, and they'll say, well, if the government thinks it's all right, I don't think it's a problem. Well, in that case, the reflecting radiation of the surface you've created obviously can't be a problem for them either, right? And in all fairness, I mean, shielding paint does that, sure. But if you, I don't know, let's say you had a metal roof on your house, that would also do that, right? Things could come in there and reflect off that. So, you know, you put a big fridge in your kitchen, metal case around it would do a similar sort of thing. It would reflect, and so would their fridge. So that's not really an issue.